Right, welcome back to episode 9 of Trials Talk podcast. As you can see over there, we've got a very special guest, Jamie Galloway, who's joining us this evening. Welcome, Jamie. First thing I'm going to
Thank
say
you.
is we've been doing really well. I've been to the last couple of British Championships, and I've done some videos, just highlight reels, whatever, from those ones. And we've had on the last one from Brimham Rocks, we've had about 24,000 views, which is brilliant. Unfortunately, 23,500 of those views didn't subscribe. So it'd be really good if you watch a video, just click the little subscribe button. That'd be brilliant. Thank you. So this video, then we're going to talk about Brimham Rocks, last British round, and TrialGP Italy, Sestriere. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And then we'll ask Jamie a few questions just about the usual stuff. What did he have for dinner and all that sort of thing. Anyway, right. So Brimham Rocks, good trial, hard again. Although I think probably fair hard, not ridiculously hard.
When we looked at them on the Saturday, I thought it was going to be a lot higher scoring than it was.
Yeah, me too, mate. Yeah.
You see the sections, you went, "Oh."
It somehow had a lot more grip than I thought it would have there. So like like Jamie said, you walk around on the Saturday and thought, oh, bugger, that's going to be pretty hard. And then Sunday, everything just seemed to ride not so bad.
Yeah, it's the first time. It's the first time I've been there, and it was. I mean, absolute. It was a Carlsberg venue for.
Yeah,
it was
heaven, isn't it?
Yeah, really, really, really good. And the sections, the way they were laid out, they were really easy to see as well. You could see, you could stand in one spot at one point and see probably 4 sections, which was absolutely brilliant. Trial GB then, Billy Green. I sort of knew, but I was still shocked that was his first British round win in the top class.
No, but he did it in style, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
He like proper did it.
He properly. I mean, he was.
It wasn't just a sneaky win, was it? It was a proper.
It was a proper trouncing, really.
Yeah.
He was on 45, and then Harry Hemingway second on 63. So he was well ahead. Like, although I suppose it's quite similar to. Doesn't Billy practice a lot? Is it that where the West of England trial is down there?
I don't
Kelly
think
Farm.
Yeah, I don't think it is there, but it's a very similar place.
Isn't it quite similar to where he practices?
Yeah.
Maybe there's a bit. Maybe he felt at home.
Yeah. And you see, like Bill has real good results in the Worlds as well, doesn't he? In Trial 2 there, so maybe just found a way of bringing that form back.
Yeah. I must try and get him on actually, because going back to what we said, because he seemed to be riding really, really well in the Trial GP. And it wasn't quite getting there in Trial GB, and that's what I was sort of wondering. What was he doing something different? Was he preparing differently or whatever? Maybe, as you say, maybe he's just found a way to sort of ride more consistently or perform more consistently.
Yeah, it's such a mental thing, and it once you like, if he's been struggling to get a result in the British rounds, then like it's just breaking that barrier down. Once you have a good result, he'll probably come and do it again in the next one.
Yeah.
But it's just actually cracking through that barrier to do it.
And again, the next round is literally just down the road at Lock and Hop. So it's quite similar type terrain again. So it's probably suits him.
It'll be a bit bigger this time though.
I think Rock and Hop is a bit bigger, isn't it? It's bigger steps.
They had some bigger stuff in last year.
I was at it last year. It was that was another brilliant trial. Really good spot. I'm coming over to it again. That flight from Belfast City Airport to Leeds. 7 o'clock on a Sunday morning, and then back at 7 o'clock on a Sunday night. It's perfect for that one. For those two, actually.
It's the amount of spectators at the British Championships in Yorkshire that I can't get over.
Yeah.
Everywhere else you sort of go and there's a few.
Yeah.
And then at Yorkshire it's like, whoa.
Yeah, there's actual like
people,
some crowds.
It's actually a proper crowd, and they obviously, I suppose, they're there because they understand, they know what trials is, so they're quite knowledgeable, and they give a bit of support as well, because there was quite a there was quite a lot of applause being given, when somebody rode something that was quite tricky. I suppose you guys maybe didn't see that so much because obviously you're concentrating on riding a trial
we
yourselves.
We weren't doing anything tricky.
You weren't doing anything spectacular, Hugo. That's
I was falling off all day.
Yeah, I didn't mean it that way, but you know what I mean.
Joking.
Well, you had a great ride.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty good to be fair. Right, yeah, it's just annoying being close to the podium. It's nice to actually get on it, but yeah, no, I was pleased with that. Rode pretty well all day.
What was it? Jack Price making a bit of a return. He won on 27. Then it was Ollie Smith on 37. Then G-Man on 40, and you were on 44. So you actually only 7 marks off second place.
But yeah, pretty happy. Hopefully, we'll carry on at the next one. Hopefully,
yeah, another place up. We good? Was
hopefully
it fifth?
Pricey won't be there at that one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he kind of robbed Ollie of that, did he not?
Yeah, he did, didn't he? I felt bad for Ollie.
I think he probably will be. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
know. So yeah, Jamie, what happened to you? 11th place.
We live and we learn. There you go.
Yeah, it was one of those days, was it?
I didn't feel like I was riding that bad, and I looked at the scores, and it was like, oh, maybe we need to ride a bit better. But
yeah,
I bet you have them days, don't you? So yeah.
I bet it wasn't actually like in terms of scores. It probably wasn't.
No,
that
I finished on
60.
Yeah, so it's not even that. There's not many marks, is it? It's just such a tight class. No,
he was only 16 marks behind you, and you were 4th.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
That's what's same with like the world that you go to and stuff, Jamie. It's like if a couple of marks can drop you more than a couple of places, can't it?
Yeah, it's crazy. So championship positions then in the TrialGB. Jack Peace is on 115. So he basically, I think, can he win the championship at this next round? Billy Green's second on 97. So what does that make? 28? No, 18 points. Sorry, 18 points. Yeah, so
both got that wrong
then. No maths. I don't.
So if he wins the next one, he's won it, hasn't he?
If he wins,
there's only 2 left, isn't there?
There's only 2 left. So if he wins the next one, I think that's enough for him. Unless potentially Billy gets the best.
Oh yeah, there's best.
Oh yeah.
Potentially, don't know. Haven't worked that maths out in my head, but he's close to.
Yeah, if Billy gets the best, if somebody else, well, it'd have to be Billy, wouldn't it? Gets best lap.
Yeah,
he'd only be 19 ahead then. So yeah, could take it to the last round.
Could take it to the last round, but anyway, good.
Given that you can't be lower than 5th or 6th in that class, it's pretty.
Yeah, I know. Your worst result's going to be what? Yeah, 6th.
Yeah.
So you're still going to get 10 points. But
points every round.
Quite good,
I know. Wonder could I put an entry in?
Go for it.
Yeah, that'll be a laugh. So I think G-Man has the pretty much Trial 2 almost wrapped up. Well, I mean, he basically just has to finish in the points, and he's nailed for Trial 2.
Yeah.
It's 106 to 72. So
wow.
Oof, yeah.
James Fry second. Jamie Galloway 4th on 55 points. Hugo Jervis 5th on 54 points.
Whoa.
This is a grudge match. The grudge match, boys.
It's on. It's on at the next one.
I did my research for this episode, I can tell you. That'll be an interesting little battle. See how that one.
I didn't even know that, to be fair.
No?
Didn't know it was that close.
Yeah, it is, It's pretty close, and Ollie Smith's 3rd there on 68. So you could.
He's a bit ahead then.
That's only 14 points. You could 2 rounds left.
2 rounds, yeah.
You can have
doable.
That. Doable, yeah. I think that I don't think there's anything more. I mean, the sections. I'd say the sections they were brilliant to watch.
I was going to
They
say,
seemed
I
to
was going to
be
come back to that from what you said before.
yeah, they
I would
seemed to
say,
be about right time wise, length. You know,
yeah,
forgetting them
Yeah,
in the time and
the
stuff.
length was good of them.
Yeah,
I would say hats off to the club and the course setters. It was probably the best one this year, in my opinion. For
yeah,
like length of sections and like
Yeah,
the content of the sections as well, it was pretty bang on.
yeah,
them and Devon are the top two, I think, this
Yeah,
year.
yeah.
yeah.
Not so
Um,
the others haven't been too hard, like severity wise. It has just been, well, in my opinion, too many like elements in the section, just
Yeah,
too long really for me.
two time
instead of
consuming.
like one main thing, they've had like three main things that you've
Yeah,
got to spend so long at. So
yeah. It's nice to
Yeah,
just be able to actually ride trials rather than racing through, isn't
hard
yeah,
enduro.
and
it?
it's
Hard enduro.
maybe that's why Jack Price went so well.
Yeah, maybe.
The damn piece should have been out. He'd have been all right. Um, yeah, I think it's a fine line, isn't it? Really, between making it too long and making it not long enough. That it's
Hmm.
because I think if you give the riders too much time, they'll just use it.
Yeah.
Even they don't really maybe need to use it. They'll take that extra time if they need it to get themselves settled and lined up.
Hmm.
Well,
Yeah, there is.
the idea was at the start of the year it was the same section length, but just you had 30 seconds
30
more.
seconds extra.
Yeah. Which
But
it should be like
it's
that,
not.
shouldn't it? If you, the time should be tight if you mess them up, not if you like
Yeah,
Yes.
have a decent ride. You shouldn't be tight on time then.
No. That's what I'm saying. It is if yeah, if you mess up, then you're going to be pushed for time. And I
Yeah.
think that's kind of the way it was at that last round there. I think if you were bang on everywhere, you were sweet. And then
Hmm.
there was a couple of sections. There was one in particular. I can't remember the number, what number section it was, but it was quite a long section for the TrialGB guys. I think I posted a video. Harry Hemingway had a massive crash on the last step, but that was basically just because there was another
Oh,
element.
section six with the big one on the top of the hill.
I
It
think
might
it
have been,
was
yeah.
6, yeah.
Yeah, I came tumbling back down that as well.
Yeah, there's a few people did. I think it was just because there was quite a technical element in the middle of it, and he had spent quite a bit of time getting that
Hmm.
bit right, and then he was rushing out the end, and I thought he'd wrecked himself because he literally the bike came down flat on its side, and then he kind of came down and slid
Oh, it's
the bike on his front.
sort of on it, yeah.
Oh, it was it was nasty looking, but I was glad to see him standing up. To be fair, but no, I mean, I think Danny Cockshot was sort of the brains behind that, and
Yeah, he wasn't he?
fair play. And I think maybe there was a bit of feedback given to him after the sections were walked on the Saturday.
Yeah.
And it looks like he took that on board because you could see a couple of places I think where he'd eased.
Yeah, a couple of hours.
Certainly the trial
Yeah.
GP lines, he'd eased them. So
Hmm.
I think he'd done a pretty damn good job, really, to be fair.
Theirs must have been pretty bang on given the scores as well, like winner on 40 to 60 sort of thing. It's about
Yeah.
right, isn't it?
Yeah.
Not
And I
that I
mean,
didn't see any of theirs, but
yeah, well, I mean, 45 and then fourth place was on 64. So,
yeah.
and it was good to see. I mean, Toby did quite well, I thought, for like first trial back.
Yeah.
Didn't you know, obviously he was a wee bit sort of shaky on it and not quite up to speed, but finished third, tied with Jack Peace for fourth. So
Yeah, good start back. It's hard to like, you might think you're riding back to normal back at home, but being back in an event is different, isn't it?
I'm sure he was pleased with that. Maybe not so pleased with TrialGP Italy, but right, which brings us on to TrialGP.
Oh, sorry, Russ. Can I just, you haven't got the points for the expert class there? Have you in the British
expert class? Do you know what I do? Dan Thorpe, who won the last.
I'm the 125s as well.
I've got the 125s as well, actually.
Let's do a full rundown.
Let's do a full rundown.
Yeah.
Okay. So top three in expert was Dan Thorpe, Brad Bullock, and Samuel Beecroft Penny. And they're the top three in the championship as well. So I suppose that goes to form. So the
whereabouts is Malcolm Summers in the experts? Is he in the? Come on.
You had to ask me that, didn't you?
Yeah. Go on. Get looking. You're the quiz master.
Leave. Right, hang on a second. I'm going to have to look that up now. Right. Anyway, trial 125. Harry Blackwell from Harrison Skelton and Daniel DeBreo. And that's the order. That's the championship order as well now. I think Harry Blackwell took over the championship lead, I think, after winning that one. But it's pretty close championship-wise as well, so it'll probably go down to the wire too.
Is there much in it between Thorpe and Brad? In the
championship-wise, Thorpe's on 117 and Brad is on 104. So what's that? 13 points. Yeah,
close enough. Yeah,
it's close enough that it's not going to be a walk in the park. Right.
Malcolm Summers is 11th at the moment in the championship. He's on 25, and George Gosden's 10th.
Oh, the mucker's not going to be impressed with that.
34 points. The mucker.
Oh, Jamie's throat. Oh, he's back.
He's back.
There we go. Right. Okay. Finished with that one?
Yeah, sorry, I was just interested, to be honest.
Everybody happy? Right. TrialGP Italy ski resort, Sestriere. Lovely place. Actually been there in the wintertime. Never been there for a TrialGP. Where's Jamie gone? Oh, he's back. There you go. So Tony Bowe wins day one from Gradarola. Say no more. And Jaime Busto. Day two, Bowe just annihilated everybody, really. He went round 9 marks. Marcelli second, 18. Raga third, 23. Busto sixth.
That's the championship there, is it not?
Has to be. There's what, 29 points difference now, first to second, 231 to 202. I don't know. I kind of just had a feeling it was going to be a matter of time before he cracked under the relentless Tony Bowe pressure.
Yeah. And you don't really see Bowe cracking, do you?
He doesn't seem
much experience now.
It doesn't. Yeah, I think I said this before. I've kind of lost interest in it now.
I know what you mean. It is when you look at it for what it is impressive though, isn't it? How he keeps getting better.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. And I don't know, I may have said this before, and I hope I'm not repeating myself, but Tony Bowe's motivation and everything, I can understand that completely. When you're winning, motivation's easy. The one that I don't know where he gets his motivation from is Adam Raga. You know, you're putting in every bit as much work. You're training as hard, you're practicing as hard, and for the last, whatever it is, 16 years, you've been finishing second.
Yeah, wow.
That takes, I don't know what it is, mental fortitude, or I don't know where he gets that motivation from. Fair play to him. I mean, take my hat off. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. That is the one thing at TRS, Raga is, when Raga's about to go out on your bike or go somewhere, because everybody's just focused round with him.
Yeah.
So everyone else is still, if you need a hand, but it is still very much Adam's going out. Yeah.
Yeah. It is like, because when I was doing them, I was on TRS as well. It's like if you're like in the truck or something, then an Adam comes in, it's just like, what, over there to like, he is
I,
obviously the dog, isn't
to
he?
be fair, Luis the mechanic is
Yeah,
contracted to Raga,
yeah, he is.
or is Raga's the first rider. Obviously, she's the top rider. But out with that, if you've got anything wrong with your bike, they'll help you
Yeah.
beyond it. Like they'll give you all the parts you need to fix it and get you back going.
Hmm.
So yeah,
No, yeah, I couldn't speak highly enough of them when I was there as well. They were great.
It seems a bit strange to me, though. I mean, obviously, Adam is coming to the end of his career, and they had a young rider there who's really the only other rider that's made a step into TrialGP in recent years. And it seems strange to me that they let Toby go. I mean, maybe Toby wanted to go. I don't know. But
Hmm.
you would have thought, um, you would have thought they would do some sort of future planning.
Yeah, you would think, wouldn't you?
What's going to happen when Adam retires? Who's going to who's going to ride a TRS?
Maybe he's on this podcast.
Jamie.
I'm already on one. It's fine.
They're just playing. Jamie's going to come up through the ranks.
Yeah, straight to TrialGP.
That's it.
Yeah.
Who's going to do a
Trial two done.
Well, I'd be in the points in the top class. So, like points on your debut. That's
why not?
Yeah.
Crack on. Yeah, I just thought that was a bit. I just thought that was a bit strange from a sort
Yeah.
of.
It is because most try and have sort of like two riders in the top class, and they all
Yeah.
near or thereabouts. Yeah, it's a funny one.
I mean, look at Honda have that sort of rider academy thing,
Hmm.
and I suppose
yeah.
Marcelli was a product of that, and he's now performing very well. Actually, he had a really good ride and second day in Italy.
Is that his best result this year?
Second place, yeah, I think it is.
Sunday, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, obviously he hasn't won, but like I don't think he's been second yet, has he?
don't think so. I think he had a couple of third places maybe
Hmm.
previously, but I don't think he's had a second. Don't have that stat. I've written lots of other
No.
stuff, but I don't have that stat. Trial, yeah. Well, no, we haven't really finished with TrialGP, have we? Busto.
That could have been something to do with the Hondas being so good altitude as well.
Well, yeah, fuel injected. I suppose any fuel injected bike theoretically
Hmm.
should cope with that.
Yeah, they'll have it sorted.
Fajardo had problems. I know that.
Ah.
Yeah.
Is that why he stopped
That's
on the Sunday?
yeah.
Well, it was
Well,
supposedly like a back injury, was it not?
I'm not 100% sure. There was some stuff going around, but you don't know when you're not there.
Yeah.
So it's all just sort of
Maybe the back injury was just a red herring. Maybe it wasn't a back injury. Maybe it was a fuel pump or something that didn't work.
You would think though that the fuel injected would be better at altitude.
Yeah, I mean they should. I mean they automatically kind of recalibrate themselves, don't do a mixture and everything else.
Yeah.
To atmospheric conditions. So it should be fairly. I mean, the only thing you would do is put a high compression head, probably, and then it will.
Yeah.
I bet the head in your 125 was about this big. Was it Jamie
Not. No. We just jet the bike, and we've got a high compression head from the factory that we put on, and that's it. That's all you can do.
Yeah.
Just rev it harder.
It's so weird that it ride at that altitude.
It's the fact when you hop back on it, when you get back down like to sea level, like you're like, "Whoa, it's got power again."
Yeah.
Said nobody ever from a 125.
I quite enjoy my 125.
Oh, I really enjoy riding 125s. They're brilliant.
Did you ever pass me on the road at 6 days?
Yeah, but we'll not talk about that.
When was it?
First day down Glenateeve.
Oh, I can't remember. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Enough said.
That was inside joke there.
I don't know whether he was. We'll call it a comfort break. We'll call it a comfort break.
The fan wasn't coming on. That was all the problem was. Just wired it on and it was fine. So
yeah. Right. Back to TrialGP. Busto third, day 1, 6th, day 2. It just looked like on day 2 anyway, watching the live coverage, it just looked like nothing he did worked. It just, the bike wasn't going up anything for him.
Mm.
And I don't think it was particularly the bike. I think he was just having one of those days.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw any of the coverage.
I haven't done this now.
It was almost painful to watch. Actually, there was one section and like I think just about everybody got through it, except Busto.
Wow.
But anyway, so we'll have to leave that championship battle to another year, I think.
Yeah, has been interesting though to see at least the start of the year. It was sort of looking more interesting. I mean, like you say, it's good to have some tight competition back.
First half of the season, they were sort of blow for blow, weren't they? You know,
yeah, they were.
Blow one on the Saturday and Busto won on the Sunday. And it was neck and neck, and it was quite interesting. And then just the little Bo just keeps chipping away, doesn't he? And it wears people down eventually. And
he's so consistent, isn't he?
Yeah.
Like how Busto has that set, you never see Bo off the podium.
Yeah. No. Yeah, like a bad day for him is third, isn't it?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Second.
Exactly. Although I did see, I don't know if you've seen, I think Gas had a wee highlight reel out on one of their social channels, where Busto is bringing even more of that sort of bicycle style.
I think
side hop. Did you see it? Side hopped up to the front wheel.
Yeah. Oh,
how fit was that?
That
thing was horrible.
Yeah,
up to the left of it, and
it was hateful.
Just like you looked at it and went, oh. But the top guys were like dropping low and then hitting it like an actual step.
Right.
Yes.
So and then he just went, what?
Onto the front wheel. Yeah, incredible. I mean, I think it's only a matter of time, but it's just it'd be nice to. I hope he does it before Tony starts to. Well, I don't know if Tony will start to decline. Doing it. He doesn't seem to be doing it yet. But yeah. Anyway, right.
He's not even that. He's not actually that old, though, is he? Like really. I don't think
36, 37,
37, I think he is 37. So I suppose technically,
36, nearly 37. Though.
Nearly 37. So what? Fuji won a world round at 40.
Raga's won one at 40 because he's 41
now.
Yeah.
So, or was Fuji 40?
Fuji was over 40.
Yeah, Fuji might have been 41. Anyway, right, trial 2. Sondre Haga, day 1. Sondre Haga, Jack Peace, Hugo de Vries. That was a good ride for Hugo de Vries. He's not really anywhere near a podium all year.
He's been top 5 a couple of times, I think.
Has he?
He's been there or thereabouts.
Right. His name. He's kind of. He's one of those ones, isn't he? He came up through the youth like he was going to be the next Tony Bow, and kind of stalled.
His knees are giving him real trouble, isn't
it? Yeah, he's injured himself a few times, I think, which is probably.
It's been like knees over and over again, I think.
Yeah, continual. So then day 2, Billy Green, Suarez, Jack Peace, and then Jack Dance actually had a good recovery ride from being out of the points on Saturday. He came back to 6th on Sunday, so that was a fair.
Okay.
Yeah, he turned that one around. Trial 3 then. Day 1. This annoys me, and it probably annoyed you too, Jamie, at the time, I'm sure. So G-Man was on 6. Sandvig on 16. Ringcars, is that his name?
Yeah,
Pavel Ringcars on
Yeah.
19, and Jamie Galloway on 19. Right now, the tie break, I'm guessing, was sorted on time, was it?
Yeah, they always do it on time.
It's weird, that, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand that, because if it had been sorted the traditional way on cleans, ones, threes, twos, threes, fives, you'd have been third.
Hard enduro.
The only thing I could say is if I just didn't. Have you seen section 1?
If you just dropped less marks.
Well, yeah, I fired section 1, and it was the most silly 5 of my life. Just like got on the top of a step, wobbled, and fell off the wrong side. And I went at the Worlds, Hugo, you'll know this. You can't go back through other people's markers.
No.
I went through a set of red flags, so I was like,
here we are.
Yeah, I was like, but it happens.
Bummer.
I'll take the Sunday result. Like,
well, Sunday.
We'll talk about that.
You made up for it. So Sunday, Jamie Galloway 14, Romeo PK 19, G-Man 23. So you
mega ride.
Yeah, that was a mega ride.
I thought I'd thrown it away on the second last section on the second lap. The observer was really keen. I had a little sort of dab because the front wheel had dropped in a hole, and I sort of was panicking. Shot the bike out, landed on a slanted rock, and then just fell off. And I was like, "Oh well, that'll be that then."
So it could have been an even bigger win, is what you're saying?
Possibly.
Well, a win's a win. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Win is a win.
How many's that? How many's that this year? No.
2 this year.
2 this year.
Yeah. It seems to be a bit of a trend of. Billy Green won a Sunday. Jack Dance, both his wins have been on a Sunday. Both your wins have been on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Jaime Busto's wins were all on a Sunday. Maybe they just need to stop the Saturday thing and just make World Trials on a Sunday.
It's like the Saturday's just the practice trial. That's what it is.
Yeah. That's where they still give out points for that practice, but it's not like any other sport.
We used to do qualifying on the Saturday, then the trials on the Sunday.
I wish they had that. That'd be so good.
Qualifying was good.
Yeah, I don't know why they got rid of qualifying. I thought it was brilliant.
Bit of excitement, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Can't say I was any good at it, but it was good fun.
Yeah, but it introduced a bit of jeopardy though, and that's I think that's what it needs, because if you take like the top guys in TrialGP, if one of them fives a qualifying section, they're out first.
Yeah, that's what I thought was good about it. Yeah.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I thought it was brilliant.
I think for trial 2, it would mix it up a bit because it's such a big class. Like the guys that were last on the Saturday are then sort of the first through on the Sunday.
Yeah.
So say you've had a good qualifying, you'll be a bit further back on the Saturday, and then you might not. Don't know.
Yeah. Right, so that puts you in the championship. That puts you now, 11 points clear of Alfie for third?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. So that's...
There's still 2 rounds left, so there's still 2...
Yeah, but...
Yeah.
You've been gradually just chipping away at that now.
Yeah, it was the first 2 days in Spain that I don't know what happened, but it was 7th and 8th or something. It was painful, but
one of them, isn't it?
That's it.
Yeah.
I was going to ask how far off second in the championship are you, Jamie? Do you know?
It's 28 points, so
it's 163. Sandvik's on 163, and you're on 139. Whatever that is.
That's a bit less.
14. 14 points, is that right?
No, 24.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought it was
24.
I thought it was a chunk he had on me. Yeah, I was going to say, you got my hopes. You got my hopes.
Yeah,
well, I'm just trying to, encourage.
Yeah, you never know.
Right. GP women then. Emma Bristow first, in fact, it's the same podium both days. It was Emma Bristow, Berta Abelan, and Sophia Rubino. The thing that kind of, I mean, that's Emma's 8th win on the bounce. And
she's showing some dominance now.
Yeah, but she still only has a 10-point lead in the championship.
Wow.
Yeah. Shocking.
Yeah, wow.
I was shocked when I looked up the. I thought she'd be 15, 20 points ahead, probably something like that. But
yeah, I suppose if it's been so similar, the results sort of thing, then you don't draw that much of a gap, maybe.
No, and she had, to be fair, the only ones she didn't win. She didn't have great first round. That's kind of where she dropped 8 points, I suppose, in the first round. So she's been making that back up. And then trial women 2. Just a bit of a shout out there to Sophie Bailey, who's top 10 the first day and then 11th the second day. So good.
Fair play.
Yeah, fair play.
Yeah.
Standings. Actually, that's their championships finished. So she rode well enough to get 8th in the championship. So
wow, fair play.
Yeah,
good on you.
Yeah, good on you. Felt sorry for Alice Minta. She was just having an absolute nightmare on Sunday.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, bit uncharacteristic.
Yeah, it just looked like nothing. It was just one of those days where anything that could have gone wrong did go wrong. I mean, her chain came off in one section. It was just one of those. But anyway, she's
been having quite a good year up to now.
Yeah, she's been going all right. She's
5th
in the championship.
The podium in Japan, did she not?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Hugo predicted that. I think he predicted that one.
It's the only thing I've got right all year.
Oh no! Don't be so hard on yourself. Your podium next British Championship round.
Is that your prediction?
I'll
hold you to
that. That's my prediction. Yeah,
I'll hold you to that.
Yeah. So what have we not covered there? I suppose the only one didn't cover was the championship positions in Trial 2. So Billy Green's leading that on 179, and Jack Peace is second on 173. So that's still all to play.
Yeah.
All to play for there. And Pablo.
That's pretty class, isn't it? 2 Brits at the top of that.
2 Brits, yeah. We've had. I mean, a shout out to all the Brits really that have ridden this year. We've had probably more podiums than ever before in a world championship. Now, obviously, I appreciate there's more classes and whatever now, but so we've had 2 people podium in GP women. We've had 2, I think, all British podiums in Trial 125.
Yeah.
We've had 3 winners in Trial 2.
Yeah.
Lee Green, Jack Peace, Jack Dance. And
Harry Hemingway got the podium.
In Trial 2, he got a podium. Yeah.
Well,
we've had 3 different British winners in Trial 2, so it's looking good.
Yeah.
Looking good. So that brings us nicely on. The future's bright, and one of our future stars is down there. So, I mean, obviously, this is your second year now, Jamie, doing sort of full-time world rounds.
Yeah, all the world rounds, all the British rounds, and then anything else we can do. Pretty much.
Did you come into this year, I suppose, because you had quite a successful end to last year? So did that make you approach this season any differently, or did you have a different goal, or was it still just the same sort of?
It was still the same sort of going and like enjoy it more to the point, but I sort of went in knowing sort of where I could finish. Whereas last year we turned up and it was like, well, if we get top 10, that'll be awesome. Like I just didn't know where I would stack up. Whereas this year I sort of was like, right, the same sort of people I should be about here, and it was a bit of a shock to the system in Spain when I wasn't where I thought I was. So
Yeah.
And so this year, obviously, your brother Ross has been minding for you. How does that all work? Because I mean, brothers don't necessarily always get on, do they?
He's been actually really good. The best thing about Ross, see, once he grabs your bike, you know he's not letting go.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I don't know if there was at Hookwood at the first British Championship. In one of the sections, I hit a slab and I just went up, did not go forward. It was going so wrong. And Ross just picks me out of the air and just grabs the thing. And I was like, how have you caught that? So
But thank you.
Like,
yes.
Yeah, he's really good at catching. And because he's not really done any of it before, he's sort of learning the lining up and he's got the hang of that now. And then when it's the bike stuff, he sort of just takes a back seat and me and my dad get stuck in. When you've got the 15 minutes for Park Fermi at the road grounds.
Yeah.
Before I've even put my bike in, he's in his sliders, shorts and t-shirt. It's fair enough. He's like, well, I wouldn't be any use anyway, so I'll just get myself.
Sounds like he's got it dialed. Perfect.
Yeah.
He's got it pretty spot on, I think.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to be unkind to Ross, but he's a big unit. I mean, if you want somebody catching a bike,
yeah.
He seems pretty like I don't really know him, but he seems quite a calm chap as well. I imagine it's quite good when you're in like a stressful, pretty like level. He seems.
Yeah. I don't think I don't think I've ever seen him raise his voice.
Being his little brother, I suppose.
But I suppose it's different maybe when you're living with him. But no, I mean he seems like ideal minder material. You know, he just has that sort of calm demeanor, and it's not, as you say. I mean, he's getting his head around the lining up and stuff. Obviously, not so much in world rounds because you're supposed to be no stop. But in the British Championship, that's obviously quite important. And people think you just tell people it's not. Minding is not an easy thing to do.
No.
Really difficult.
Because the one thing you find, you might be on a step looking like to try and line them up, but you can't see where their back wheel is. So you're sort of having to like move yourself out the way of the. Yeah. I don't envy him.
No, it's not an easy thing to do.
There's a lot more to it than you think.
I've done it a bit in the past, and it's a hard day out. So going back then, how and when did you enter into the trials world?
So I started riding my first bike was a PW50 when I was 3.5, I think. So that was 2008, I think that was. So that was, that, and then there was a TY80 that me, my brother, and my sister shared. We all sort of took turns, and then I beat a 50. It only had 2 gears that I blew up. Trying to keep up with Ross and his. Oh yeah, I'm quite proud of that. I did a good job of it as well. I think the bike just got sold in bits. Then Beta 80s all the way, and then there was a brief point where I was on a Beta 125, 4 or 5 months, and then TRS came out with the 125, and that's sort of when my dad started up his shop, and it's all fell into place with TRS.
Yeah.
So, which I can't fault them. The bikes, it's done the Scott, it's done the 6 days, it's done all the world rounds without problem. So the bike's solid.
Yeah, they are. I have to say, they're. I mean, I've been on one since 2017, and I real touch wood. I've never really had an issue with them at all. Right. So, what did you say there about a Beta 50? Did you set one on fire or something?
No, blew it up. So
Oh, right.
I can't remember what I did. I just remember I got told to blew it up, and then it got sold. It didn't get, yeah.
Resurrected.
Is that
Yeah,
one of the ones that had like it was a 2-speed gearbox, but it had the little thing on the side of the gearbox that you pulled out or pushed in?
No,
Like the gear?
no, this was,
Oh, I
I
see.
believe this was the Beta 50s with like the clutch and the everything, but a person had put a 2-speed selector drum in it instead of a 4.
Right.
Couldn't tell you why.
Yeah.
So I was thinking I was in 4th gear, revving the nuts off it, trying to keep up with Ross on a track, and I was in 2nd gear. So yeah,
why would you do that? So you've still got so you've none of the benefit of losing like the weight of 2 of the gears out of the gearbox, but you've only got 2 gears to choose from. That sounds like that's a sound piece of thinking.
That was probably cheaper.
Yeah.
So
I think it was Gasser 50s when it had that little like
was it
almost
like
a choke lever, but for the gearbox.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Right. So it was a guy. I'm getting it mixed up.
I was lucky enough to not. I was loved as a child that didn't get a gas 80.
It's controversial.
Yeah,
I'll edit. It's okay. I'll edit that bit out. I'll edit that bit out. No gas contract for him next year. So 2008, did you say?
Yeah, that was.
I've got shoes that are older than that. Probably have underwear that's older than that too, to be fair. And so the first time I met you was 2019.
Spain. Yeah.
2019 TRS Day. And you were the young Scottish lad who kind of just started talking to me and didn't really stop.
Yeah, I talked to everyone. That's a problem.
It was unbelievable. He was coming out with stuff that was like about trials that were like from the early noughties. I don't know. You must have just watched and ingested trials videos, did you, from a very early age?
Yeah. See them trials reviews.
Yeah.
Got the full world round. Like just used to watch them religiously.
Yeah.
Like, it was quite sad at times. I could tell you like what helmet was when, and yeah.
You see, I used to do that too. In the what would it have been, mid-90s, whenever I was sort of learning my sort of early trials craft, back in the days before like laptops you could have taken out into the. I used to go out with a portable TV.
Was it in black and white when you were doing
this? It was early color. It had like a little video thing in the bottom of it, so it was a TV and video recorder in one, and that's what I used to do. I used to watch them all in the garage while I was standing balancing on the bike.
What?
Multitasking. Funny, I was talking to somebody else about that the other day. It was quite sad, really. Yeah. So you've studied. Tell me this: Did you pick up any technique from watching those videos? I reckon that's a brilliant way to learn.
I do find, like, see, if you're not doing something right, if you get someone to film you, you can normally like see, oh, I'm hitting that wrong, or I need to do this differently. Like, it's quite a good tool. Like, so probably I have, but not
consciously.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Subconscious. And so it's a relatively okay. This is maybe a bit of a silly question for somebody who's still so early in their career, but you've managed to achieve quite a lot so far. You've won a couple of world rounds. You've competed. Did you do the Scott?
Yeah, I did the Scott on the 125.
You've done the Scottish 6 day. And what's your, out of all of that, what's your, obviously probably a world round win's your biggest achievement, but
yeah,
I mean, your ride in Scotland was pretty impressive too, to be fair.
The dream one day is to have a yellow plate at least some point through the week.
Yeah.
Like that would be
That'd be pretty
preferably
special.
on the Saturday about 6 o'clock. Getting a yellow plate would be quite good. But I think I'll stick to the sort of smaller. But the World Round tops it but the 6 days is my favourite trial by a mile.
Yeah.
Just so good.
Yeah, it's class, isn't it?
It gets you like it. I'm guessing I'm the only thing I can sort of maybe draw a parallel with is it's probably the equivalent of the Isle of Man TT if you're a road race.
Yeah.
If you're a road race competitor, it sort of gets under your skin a bit, Scotland, and you can't really, once you've started it, it's very difficult to stop it.
Yeah, it's just and they're like the places you go to, like just riding around with the same type of people and stuff. Well, like you meet people as well. Like you spend the week with the people with your numbers in the air.
Yeah,
you wouldn't know them before, and then by the end of the week, you're like good mates with them and had a hell of a laugh.
That is the one thing.
It's pretty cool.
Andy Perry this year, another fellow Northern Irishman, having him at the Scottish this year, just going, yep, we're all right on time. Oh, I think you should go this way on a section. Just sort of someone to just sort of guide you a little, just to help you on your first time. As he made it so much better of a week.
Yeah,
just to sort of tell you, yeah, it's all good. It was even the times where I'd like had a horrendous 5 or whatever. You just go, oh well, just on to the next one. Keep going. Doesn't matter now. It's done.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, there's no point once you've done it. You've done it.
Yeah,
it's not gonna change.
Can't change that.
Well, we'll not go there, but you sort of can. Right. So, Scott Trial, did you finish?
I did. I was 39th out on a 3-way tie break for 37th. That was.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not good with the tie breaks, are you? You seem
no.
quite regularly. I was the same. I don't think I've ever in my whatever it is, how many years I've been riding, I don't think I've ever won a tie break.
There's some times where I get lucky, but it's just luck of the draw at times. But I'll be back for the Scot for more, but not on a 125. No, thank you.
No,
but no, I can't imagine it's much fun on a 125. To be fair.
Well, it was the fact actually like riding it's not bad. It's you'd pass folk on the going.
Yeah.
Come to a track, and they'll pass you again, and you'll be like, "Oh, I've got to do that again now."
Yeah.
Yeah. You need a bit of torque helps in the Scot, like up on them moors and everything, doesn't it? Like,
yeah.
You're not having to ring it like pull.
It's up and down the gears between 4th and 5th. When it's a steady uphill, you're just up, down, up, down, up, down.
Yeah, it's really awkward.
Whereas top gear on a bike, you're flat out on a 300.
Yeah, just that little, as Hugo says, just that little extra bit of torque is very helpful. Do you find, I mean, you ride Trial 125 in the World Rounds and you ride Trial 2 in TrialGB, but you ride on different bikes.
Yeah.
Do you find difficult or
the way I ride a big bike still is quite 125-esque, I would say. I like I'll still rev it and like just use the clutch,
right?
Which isn't probably the best for riding a big bike, but it's still sort of ingrained in me to ride it that way.
Yeah, probably not worth changing for now, is it?
It's not too bad, but it's basically the way I work is I look what the next trial is and just go, well, the next trial I'm going to be on a 300 or the 125, so I'll ride that bike up until then, and then next weekend, all right, okay, we're back in the 125, so during the week it'll be the 125. But the way it works is whatever bike's not getting rode is normally the minder bike. So
yeah,
250, the 300 or 250 at the World Rounds is the Minder bike, just with a bigger back sprocket. We just changed the gear and put an 11-tooth front sprocket on the big bike and a 45, which is on the 125.
Right, just in case you need the wheel.
Yeah, just in case. But I've touch wood, I've not had to do that ever. So
no. Well, I mean, I was going to say you've plenty of time, but actually, probably no, you don't really in World Rounds now, do you? The way they operate at the time.
Time at the paddock's all right. It's when you're out and on the course, like it's weird with the FIM. I think you could happily change a wheel, but you just aren't always sure. I'd need to have a good look to see, but I've never had to yet. So
yeah.
And what is there like rules about?
Well,
I don't really know what they are now, but
I don't think you're allowed to refuel.
Out on the course.
Yeah.
I remember seeing a rule about something like that, but
I think that's for the environmental reasons.
Yeah, well, I think probably. I think if you look in the regulations of most trials, they're probably the same.
You have to have a pit man everywhere, supposedly by the.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, dedicated refueling areas and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, you'd have plenty of time in Parc Fermé, I suppose, but the likelihood of you actually having a puncture in Parc Fermé is probably quite slim.
Yeah.
But yeah. Something else I was going to say to you there about Scotland, but I can't remember what it was out of my head.
I don't know. You missed my horrendous 5 on a Gary McDonald's section on the Friday.
Oh,
that was quite.
Where was that?
Farset.
Oh,
it was quite funny.
Oh, the top section.
Yeah, it was quite funny. It was his section, just made it a bit funnier. But it was just. I sort of like fell into the bank, and I was just like, and so I just gave up. I was like, but
no point.
It was still quite a good week, so I can't really complain.
No, it was excellent week. I mean, for first time, 125.
Yeah,
pretty.
For everyone that doesn't know where I live, though, I am not a local.
I ask that, yeah.
I'm 2.5 hours away from any sort of 6 days terrain, so that's.
You're local.
Above yeah, I'm just above Edinburgh in Fife.
Right.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm here, Fort William's up here. So it's a bit of a journey.
But they do have. I noticed this year, about 2 weeks before Scotland, there was a local club trial that was a Muir
Trotters,
which is basically
yeah. There was a trial there 2 weeks ago.
A couple of weeks ago as well, wasn't there? There was another one there.
I did partake in some riding of
some trotters practice.
I had the softest one there this year, so I went right. I'm going and I'm making sure I can clean it. I'll 5 it when I come to it next year. Now, that's the.
It had got so much worse when I think I lasted it 2017, and then so like 6 years till now. We were staying quite close. We went for a look at trotters like on the Sunday night before we started. I couldn't believe how cut out it had got. Like the step now. That used to just be like this high. Now it's like proper.
Yeah, you've really got to like ride it like as a step, sort of stop and then go.
A lot like real slow and it lifted off.
I just clipped the sump at the 6 days.
Oh,
and it just sort of I had a little soft dab and then went up it.
Yeah.
So, but I would rather the dab than the 5. So.
Yeah.
No, you don't want a 5 in there. You just can't got slagging from everybody when you 5 that.
I didn't have time to walk it. They just had to go straight in.
Yeah, so did I.
Mm.
So did I. Just
Duncan was first man that day, was he not?
I think he made it to first man, because I was by Duncan and Gary, and then we were like, shit, we're late. So we like cracked on across that wall, got down there, and I got to the section, I had like 4 minutes to finish or something. So I was just like, right.
What were you doing? I had 15 minutes when I got to time control.
Yeah, I don't know. It's must have been just because we were at the front. You're like, no one wants to really like rush and get to the front, do they? But
it was Duncan was saying like no lines in the moor, like trying to find a path was really difficult. So
there
that was that.
The difficult thing, I'm colorblind, so like picking the orange flags out on the moor is like difficult. If there's no track, I actually like struggle to spot the flags in the distance.
Oh, blimey heck.
There was one of the days, I think it was that Tuesday? Or was that Wednesday?
Tuesday was Loch Arkaig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the first moor crossing. There was 2 really long moor crossings that day, and the first one of them, the flags were really far apart. You literally did have to ride the one flag and then stop and look for the next one. And it was, I mean, we weren't particularly early. Our numbers weren't particularly early that day, but
it was our second early day, was it not?
We were early Wednesday.
Yeah, so
but even with like still 100 riders in front of you, there was still not really, the tracks weren't really obvious. It was quite difficult because I was across there with Josh and Stuart Hanlon, and like the number of times we had to stop to sort of get our bearings and look for the next flag.
Yeah, it's funny that was because it's a bit drier, isn't it? Because it was quite a dry year, you don't get tracks as quick developing, do you?
Yeah.
That was the day might have left Ross. He wasn't fast enough on the moors, so he got. He'll catch up when I get to the next section. Didn't see him, so
never saw him the rest of the day.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, well, I feel a bit bad actually because I did the same to Stuart Hanlon because I was following him across that last bit of moor before you drop down into Trotters, and there was one bit you drop down the hill across a little sort of shuck, and then up the far side, and he just pinned it, got onto the grass on the far side, the back end spun, and he did this lovely slow motion big 180. And he sort of dropped the bike halfway through it, and he just slid up the grass on his arse. It was hilarious. I wish that had a video camera on it. It was brilliant. It was just like in slow motion. No, all good. Well, it was I really enjoyed the week. I didn't finish, but anyway, that's slightly annoying.
Next year.
There's always next year. Maybe.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Another year on a 125, and that'll be me finished with it.
Finished with 125 or finished?
But yeah, be happy with that.
Yeah, finished with 125 completely after next May, so that'll be quite good.
Yeah,
slightly bad timing, really, isn't it? It'd be good if it was April.
Yeah. Well, no, I could do it being like my birthday is the 15th of May. So a couple weeks the next, and I could ride a 300.
Yeah.
So it's a bit.
Yeah.
Bummer. So next year, then, what's the plans? Or the same?
I think the plans. Maybe try a couple of trial twos. I need to sort out with my work and my apprenticeship that I'm doing, whether I can get the time off and off college and sort of build it around that. If we can, we will do it, definitely, I think. And British class, same again, trial 2. And ride more events like, yeah.
Did you do the French 4-day?
No, I didn't.
You didn't?
I didn't have the holidays for it, so I think
why would you do that?
Yeah, I want to
Santa Gosa's on the bucket list next year.
Yeah, it's on my horizon as well.
Yeah,
same sort of events.
My plan was that this year was going to be my last Scottish, and then I was going to do French 4-day and like that 2-day Aronsal trial that I think Danny Bob was over at that. I seen TrialTube videos there
on the Mecha Techno.
On the Mecha Techno, yeah. It looks good too. There's a few, yeah. That French 4-day. I think the three of us must be the only people from Britain who weren't at it.
There was a lot there.
It was. I think just about everybody was there.
It looks a good laugh, though.
It does. It looks brilliant. It would be.
Duncan was saying there's no time in the sections, and it's a stop allowed trial. So like, be folks sitting in the section just like taking 10 minutes to line up for this step. Taking, but
yeah,
that's already put me off slightly.
Yeah.
Oh no, I think it's great for riding.
Yeah.
It's proper days. It's like 9-hour days as well. You're doing.
Yeah. Did they open the sections at like 8 o'clock in the morning and close them at 4 or 5 in the afternoon? That's kind of it. There's no. There's a couple of guys from the south of Ireland did it a few years back, and they were saying like when you're riding through the little towns and villages, there's people bringing out like bread and carafes of wine. Sounds
you'd be posted missing, would you not?
Oh, sounds brilliant. Sounds brilliant. Yeah. Carafes of wine. You can ask Andy next time you're speaking to Andy. Ask him a story about carafe of wine. It didn't end well. So, Trial 2 potentially next year.
Yeah.
Can you ride? You still have to ride a 125 though at the World Rounds.
No.
No. Is there no road work in World Rounds anymore?
No road work, or if it's road work, it's all taped off.
Oh, right. It's like closed road.
Right.
Like in Andorra, you rode up the road and then you rode back down the road as well, but you were like, it was,
They get round it somehow, don't they?
Yeah, it's good, isn't it? How they can get round it in European countries, but they can't get round it here. That just makes me laugh. You know, we've got so many talented people here, and they can't even get to show their talents in front of their own people because health and safety's gone nuts.
Yeah,
it was the same problem. For it. Yeah, it was the same problem when they had the World Round in Bangor here when we're early noughties.
03.
Oh yeah, 03, 04 was it? 04?
That was on one of the trials reviews I watched.
So. Yeah, it was a good one. It was a good trial, really good trial. But they couldn't have some of the local younger riders because of the there was road work involved in it. Coming back from the last group of sections to the paddock was on public road, and they wouldn't close the road, and anyway, that's a bit of a rant. Right, Hugo, got any more questions for Jamie while we've got him here? I haven't really interrogated him all that much. We'll get him back on again.
No, we haven't really.
No.
What's your favourite colour?
Oh, a good fluo yellow.
Very
on brand.
Yeah, I was going to say very very corporate.
Right.
I'm glad to see you've got your TRS gear and everything behind you there, and you're.
I've not put my washing away. That's why
you need to angle the camera. You need to angle the camera down a wee bit more to get your employer's name there on your. There you go.
There you go. Swan Engineering. He pays the wages, so he has helped me greatly this year. My boss sponsored me as well, so he has been really good. So
he gives you the time off and everything.
That's what you need, isn't it?
Yeah. He's given us a bit of fuel money as well, so
brilliant.
I cannot fault him at all.
No, fair play.
Excellent. No, very good. Yeah, and you're not going to do it without it either. You know, that's the bottom line, isn't it? You know, I mean, you people there now support. I mean, funny, we mentioned Danny Cockshaw earlier, obviously, and he sponsors the Hemos there too. So, you know, if it wasn't for people like that, you sort of have to wonder, really, you know, how particularly riders from the UK, you know, it just wouldn't be possible. It wouldn't be possible at all.
Yeah.
So, yeah, fair play. Right. Thank you very much, Jamie. Definitely going to get
worries.
again. Might even might even get you on as a regular. You know,
more
your
than happy.
Your insight is always what's the word? Useful. Welcome. That's the one. See, you're a natural.
I
forgot to ask you, Hugo. Actually, not last episode, but the episode before you had to go because you were going to the cinema.
We're out of time.
Oh, are we? Out of time, are we? So how was The Little Mermaid?
That was good. Enjoyed it.
Have you been to see the Barbie movie yet?
Not yet, no.
No.
Going next week though.
Right. No, I haven't. I want to go and see
pink dress sorted out.
No, I've got like a pink suit, there's some shoes to go with it.
It's going as Ken.
Yeah.
Nah.
Excellent. So I just had to. Sorry, mate. I just had to.
But we promised we weren't going to mention.
I forgot to mention the last one. Forgot to mention the last one. Right. Thank you very much.
Cool.
See you all in a couple of weeks anyway. If not before.
Yeah. See you at Brimham if not before.
Yeah. Right. Cheers, guys.
Sound.
Yeah.
See you later.
See you later. Bye.